Hey everybody, Melissa here, and I've got another video for you today. Today's video is all going to be my savory oats. So if you follow me on Facebook, if you're in the group, if you follow me even here on YouTube, you know that I talk about these savory oats. I love these oats for breakfast. I make it once a week. When I do, it's a double batch, so it makes 4 servings. And today, because I do mine a little bit different from original recipes, I'm going to show you exactly how I make mine. So let's get to it. All right, so I have all the ingredients set out here, and baby Cole on my in-progress floor is watching. So in my pot, I have 3.5 cups of water. So I just didn't have the measuring cup handy, so I decided to just go with that, and I put it on a pretty high heat. So the oats that I use are steel cut oats, and I use a little bit of old-fashioned rolled oats. Now, I've been going to all the local stores trying to find the cheapest per pound, because as you can see, I need more this week. And I found that the best price for them is actually at Aldi's. It's $1.33 a pound, and every other place I've looked, it's been $2 or more. So as a double batch, I do a little over 1 cup in the steel cut, because I like a little extra, and then I add maybe about 1/2 cup of regular old oats to it just to get it in there. So 3.5 cups of water, 1.5 cups of various oatmeal. You can change it up. Now, so far I have 5 of the tablespoons of nutritional yeast, aka Nooch, that I use. I wanted to show you that when I use it, I kind of use heaping tablespoons. So the recipe calls for 6, but I always go a little extra because I add, the original recipe would be 1 cup total of oatmeal. So because I do about 1.5 cups, I add a little bit extra. So I just dump it in. And that is Cole crying and whining at my feet. Now this is a little more than 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric. And I'm using a teaspoon. It's 1/2 and a little extra, so that's why I did it that way. So I add that in there. In here, a little bit of the turmeric fell in there, but in there is a 1/2 teaspoon and a teeny dash extra of garlic powder and onion powder. And I get that, oh, yep, can't forget. And I have about a little less than a teaspoon of salt added to it. So original recipes use liquid smoke, and Cole has jumped up on the counter. He hasn't learned his baby manners yet. So I use a little less than a teaspoonful of that as opposed to liquid smoke or soy sauce. And Cole is just going to be trouble for the next thing. I add a can of diced tomatoes. This can is from Aldi's. It's their fire roasted. You can certainly get no salt added. You can certainly get organic. You can go as fancy as you want. I don't go fancy for this one. It's just me, and I'm happy with it. And even now, little man is up here. This is great. A nice kitty party, which they're both going to have to get down. So this is a 14.5 ounce can. The original recipe, come on, Cole, is like a 7 ounce can, so of course I doubled that, and since it's 14.5, I just run with it. Liquid and all, I dump it in, and we're going to remove the kitten. You want to say hello? Can you say hello? Oh, baby? Oh, yes, you said hello. Okay. Next, that I add right away, even before it's, boiling and ready, I add mushrooms. So this is a family pack from Wegmans. That's a amazing grocery store here in the Northeast. This is a 1 pound, 8 ounce, there he goes again, package that's $4. So I get 2 of these a week. Sometimes I get the pre-sliced ones, and I get a package of those and then a package of these. They were out of the pre-sliced, so now I get to slice a bunch of mushrooms. So what I'm going to do is just pause the recording, and I will show you how many mushrooms I get in there before I go ahead and continue. All right, there you go. That is about 15 of those mushrooms that I just quickly chopped up with a knife, and I will probably have to stick the camera down in order to do that, so let's go like that. So I'm just going to toss them in. I like it to be mushroom heavy because I like the mushrooms. And again, it just makes more food that can go in my belly. So I'm going to give all that a stir. And now it's just a matter of letting it all cook. Kind of cook till it gets to be a thicker consistency. Excuse me. And usually when I'm done, the steel cut oats are a little al dente, but it seems like they finish cooking and kind of soak up once they're in the jars and they're in my fridge. So all I have to do is let it boil for a while and cook. Literally, I think I cook this about 10 minutes. I really don't go crazy. The last step I do, once I see that the mushrooms are cooked and this is getting cooked and, you know, it's a little thicker, that's when I go in and I add the spinach. So again, all these, you do not have to break the bank eating this way. I only spend probably about $100 a week for 4 people and 6 cats, okay? So, and that includes kitty litter. So this is probably a little more than half the bag. You know how they're never quite that full. And I will probably end up cutting up and adding most of this. It's the last step, though. You do it at the end of the cooking process, and once they've kind of shrank down, that's when everything is done. So I will probably take out a little bit more after that, but I kind of like chop it up a little bit, make it a little easier, and then of course, like I said, add it in here when it gets to a certain consistency. So what I'm gonna do is let it go, cook about 10 minutes, and then I'll come back and I will show you the finish. Okay, we're back. So as you can see, I turned the heat down to about a 3. It's been 9 minutes since the last moment, and as you can see, it's getting thicker now, okay? It's still a little kind of liquidy, and that's the consistency we want for adding and cooking the spinach. So what I did was I chopped up the spinach that I originally put here, and I shoved it into the cup, and I took a little bit more out and chopped it up as well. So you can see there's not that much left in the bag. You know, it's probably the equivalent of about half a bag, and Cole is not learning the word no yet. So Cole needs to go down. All right, so when I add the spinach, I do kind of go a little slower. I plop it on there. I'm going to start with that first and fold it in. And then pretty much all you got to do is let the spinach cook down and get wilted, and then it is ready to go. Now this is, it's evening, as you can see. It's 7:15 at night. I decided to kind of make them tonight because sometimes in the morning when I'm getting the kids ready for school and waking up my husband, excuse me, I got a mild cough as a cold. I did not get the cold, I did not get the flu, but I did get a little bit of a cough. But sometimes I don't want to have to wait and cook for myself too. So I just figured I would have it pre-made for myself so I don't have to worry about it. Now I've seen people add broccoli to this. I don't really want to. I've tried adding onion to it and it was kind of gross. So I don't add fresh onion. And this is total, ooh, God, how did I get paper in there? Yeah. Well, alrighty, so thankfully I'm not serving that to anybody else, but alright, here you go. So that is how I make my savory oats. This will literally cook maybe only for like 2 or 3 more minutes just to get the spinach all cooked down. Let's kind of grab it like that. I am left-handed, so we'll get the correct hand here. And I usually eyeball it. Sometimes, you know, that's why I don't really measure when I cook. I just look at it and I think to myself, I'll add some more spinach. I'll add some more mushrooms. This looks to be pretty good. So then all I'm going to do is kind of just let it sit. Now, if you let it sit for a while, it does almost look like it gets like a film on it, you know, like almost like it's crusting over. I just turn the heat off and, you know, I just stir it. So like we just had a plant-based potluck this past weekend, and I actually made this for the potluck, and everyone raved about it. Everyone loved it. They said they, were kind of nervous to try it, so they loved being able to try it before making it, and they absolutely adored it. So to me, this tastes like a Lipton rice mix, like a cheesy rice mix. So the nutritional yeast, the turmeric, the spices in here, oh man, really give it good flavor. So when I eat this, I feel like I'm eating something bad, and it's totally not bad. All right. So I put them in these smaller jars. I reuse salsa jars from Aldi's. Pumpkin one and regular pumpkin. So I will just use my little ball jar funnel, and I go like that. And typically how I get it in there is I usually will grab my little half a cup measuring cup, and I fill it twice so that I put a cup in each one. And then there's always leftovers because I made it a little bit bigger because I added a little bit of extra of everything to it. So that way I get 4 bigger servings. So by the time I finish filling them, they will be pretty much right up to the neck. I generally don't fill them this hot. I can, obviously. And I will, just for you. So I will show you exactly with one of them what I'll do. This will give me 4 servings, and usually, like, when I make it in the morning, let me grab that little half cup that's in the sink. Or not in the sink. Yeah, don't you just love my drawer? This is real, people. It fell off, and I haven't hammered it back on. And real messy drawer. There you go. All right, that's 1/3 a cup. And, oh, wait, I see my half a cup. All right, so I literally just scoop it and pour it in just like this. That's where 1 cup takes it. We'll add another half a cup, and it's like almost like right at that neck. So these will get right at that neck, and there will probably be extra, which is good because I'm hungry and I'll eat some of it. It won't be a lot of extra. If you want to make 5 smaller jars, go for it. I like a lot of food. I want to eat, and I want to be full, and I want to not feel hungry a half hour later. So I fill them. I fill them to the top. I go like that and go like that. And as you can see, it got pretty filled up. So that's all I'm going to do. Finish filling that up. Any leftovers I eat, add to the bowl I'm currently eating. That's typically what I do in the mornings. And then I'm just going to put the lids on these and stick them in the fridge. And now I've got breakfast for the next 4 days. Sometimes if I'm extra hungry, I will make something like eggplant bacon, something like that, and I will like crumble it and add it to it. But generally, I just eat it just like this and not add anything else. And trust me, it's good. So that's how I make the savory oats. I love it. Try it. Let me know what you think. I will put the recipe in the actual description below. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. If there's any specific video you want to see me do, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to get it done soon. So thanks, everyone. Bye.